Hey everyone, today's video is going to be all about my Sephora recommendations ahead of their 2023 spring VIB sale. And the sale is going to kick off for Rouge members starting on April 14th and running until the 24th. And then if you're VIB or a beauty insider, the sale will start on the 18th for you. Almost every product in this video I have featured in many videos before on my channel, like really in-depth reviews. So I'm going to be super fast and breezy with every product I'm talking about today. So if you want more detail about the products, I'm going to leave a list of videos in the description box, like my annual 2022 favorites videos that have a lot more information about each product. First, I'm just going to breeze right through the skincare. The VIB sale is always when I purchase the Tatcha Serum and Cream Indigo Overnight Treatment. This is by far my favorite skincare product of all time. If I could only pick one skincare product to have for the rest of my life, it would be this. Hopefully I could also throw in a sunscreen, but you know, you get the point. I really like this. It's very expensive. I think it used to be $88. They may have raised it to $92 now, so it's like, oh, it hurts when you buy it. Nothing does what this does for me. It is so many products in one. It's a intensely soothing treatment. When everything irritates my skin, this is the thing that calms it down. It's also a super hydrating product. So you can skip your hydrating serum, you can skip your soothing serum. It's deeply moisturizing and very occlusive. When I put it on at night, I wake up in the morning and it looks like I still have freshly applied skincare. It does so much in one product. It's like your soothing serum, your hydrating serum, your moisturizer, your face oil, and a slugging product in one. So for me, that absolutely justifies the price. But because it is so expensive, I do tend to purchase it just when there's a sale, and this is a great time to do that. And if you want to try before you buy, Sephora does sell a mini of it, but it's sold out a lot of the time, so definitely try to get your hands on that. My favorite sunscreen at Sephora is the Paula's Choice Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense SPF 30. I'm wearing it today, and I'll show you a clip. The tint is perfect for me. It matches my face really well. I have a hard time finding a great tinted sunscreen because they're either super white or they tend to be really dark and orange and no in between, but this is a great shade match for me. It's a mineral sunscreen, and what I like about it is that it sets down to a soft matte finish. So this is the sunscreen that I'm wearing in all of my videos because it's the one that looks the best under makeup. It's a great primer. It has a little bit of that kind of soft silicone slip, but it's not too silicone-y for me. It just adds a beautiful kind of soft finish to the skin, and I just feel like it's the most cosmetically elegant mineral sunscreen that I've ever tried. Next is the Youth to the People Superclay Purify and Clear Power Mask with niacinamide, kombucha, and BHA. This is a serious before and after results product. It's actually very expensive for what it is. Youth to the People is like a little bit of an overpriced brand for me, but when it comes to this mask, I fully justify the price because you get results like that. It is phenomenal. When I'm having breakouts before my period, I'll increase my use of this mask from once a week, sometimes up to every single day, because it's so effective, but it's really gentle. It really never sensitizes my skin. And what it does is it's a clay mask that still has a little bit of flexibility, so you can like move your face around and it's not super tight and itchy like a lot of clay masks can be. It really does feel like it's decongesting my skin and calming breakouts and calming my skin at the same time. When I wash it off, my skin feels soft and plump, and I always notice a decrease in redness. My skin just looks more clean, more clear, and I've never met a clay mask that really truly gives me before and after results immediately. And so this for me is a must. I'm on my like third or fourth jar all the way down at the bottom, so I'm definitely gonna buy this again. I absolutely love it. I can't recommend this enough. And lastly, in the skincare speed reviews, we have the Farmacy Honey Halo Ultra Hydrating Ceramide Moisturizer. I debated if I really needed this a few months back, and I kind of, I used it up and I didn't really think about it. And then I realized every day I was wanting to reach for it and I was really missing it from my collection. And I didn't have it for about 2 months and I just had to purchase it again because it is that good. It's a very simple formula. Basically what it is a super soothing, rich, occlusive moisturizer. It has this wonderful, subtle honey scent, and it has an almost like whipped face butter kind of texture. It's divine. And I just find that it's so beautiful on the skin because it sets down to a satin finish. So it's not the kind of moisturizer that's gonna make your skin look like super wet and be really dewy. I love that it just has this beautiful, soft satin finish while still being really rich. And while it's a simple formula, you know, it's got ceramides, it's got some soothing ingredients, some hydrating ingredients. I think previously I looked for moisturizers that were really packed with lots of different ingredients like ceramides, peptides, hydrating ingredients, lactic acid, omegas. And as I've gotten older, I've realized the more simple the better for me. And so I actually really appreciate that this is simple. You know, it has ceramides, it has hydrating ingredients, it's super soothing, it just looks great under makeup. It's wonderful at night. I can't live without it. It's one of my favorite moisturizers of all time. And what's great is it comes in 3 different sizes, and Sephora always has this as a point perk. So definitely check out some of the different point perks on their website. I just love it. It's so worth buying the jumbo size for me. Moving on to makeup, I'm going to talk about the product that I'm most excited about at Sephora, and it's the Colé lip treatment oils. Holy shit, these are so good. I cannot stop wearing them. I'm wearing the shade Bliss today, and I don't have any lip liner on. I just wanted something super simple. And I think if I were to create a lip gloss myself, it would probably end up being this formula. They have a really subtle vanilla or maybe cotton candy scent, but it's not too overpowering. And this formula is thick. It is like a cross between a lip gloss and a liquid lip balm. And it smooths over the lip lines in a way that is just so flattering. It makes your lips look plump and more youthful and hydrated. It just is a very, very flattering formula. It is extremely grippy. And for me, the difference between grippy and sticky is that with a grippy formula, you can feel that it's just on your lips and it's like forming a seal, and it's not going to go outside your lip lines or get in your mouth or anything like that. Sticky to me is when your lips actually like stick together. And so as you can see, no stickiness here, but it's grippy and it is super, super long lasting. I just think it's one of the best products I've tried. I do want to make one quick note about the packaging though. If you don't twist it enough, it can actually leak a little bit out of the sides, but I do find that if I just twist it all the way to the right and I make sure it's super tight, it's not a problem. I also really like the shade Smitten, which is this hot pink. It looks kind of red in the tube, but it actually is a pink on your lips. It's so beautiful. It's like that perfect flushed lip color. I'm totally going to be reaching for the shade in the spring, but right now Bliss is just my absolute go-to. I cannot get enough of these. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I have a huge bag of recommendations. So now let's just do Tom Ford Terra. I love this bronzer. You guys recommended this to me. It is the perfect shade of bronze. It's not too orange. It's not too red. It's not too cool toned or too pink. It is just the perfect bronze if you have fair to light skin. It's sheer, but it's buildable. It's super cosmetically elegant. I just think it's a fantastic powder bronzer. This is the mini size, and I believe the mini is 75. So obviously I would, you know, if you're interested in it, I would probably only buy it during the sale. It's just the kind of formula and color that you just can't go wrong with. It looks so natural on the skin because of the undertones that it's hard to overdo. And when it comes to bronzer, a product that I can definitely go overboard with, it's nice to have something that gives me a little bit more control. I'll just talk about my next bronzer, which is the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer in light medium. So I'll show you the shade light medium on the back of my hand because a lot of people told me the shade light was very orange and that this is so sheer. Honestly, you can go a shade darker than you would usually go. So that's what light medium looks like on my hand. You can see it's really not too dark. It's not too orange. It's a beautiful shade. And that's what it looks like up close. You could see it's very well loved. And at first I didn't know if I would like this because it's extraordinarily dewy. It really does feel like almost like a thin layer of Vaseline or something, like a balm. Normally I don't like balm products on my face because they make my face feel really sticky. They can lift up foundation, you know, they can make my hair stick to my face, and I don't like that. But this is totally different than something like the Tower 28 cream formulas. This is just super soft and slippery, and it almost like sinks into the skin rather than sitting on top of it. This is my absolute go-to in the summertime, which is funny because you would think that I'd want to reach for it in the winter months when my skin's more dry, but I just find that the dewiness of this, just with a little bit of powder, makes the skin look so vibrant and alive. And for someone with combination skin that tends to get oily with makeup, for me to reach for a dewy product means that it's really, really good. I do have one primer. I've been testing a ton recently, but the one that I always come back to is the Innbeauty Face Glaze. On days when I feel like my skin just looks really dull or it's really dry, I love to wear the face glaze all over with just like a little bit of concealer around my face, and it really brings a beautiful amount of vibrancy. I love the squeezy tube because you get so much control. You can put it on your shoulders, you can put it on your legs, your collarbones. It looks amazing on the body because it really does just have the texture of a moisturizer. So that's what it looks like. It's just like a thin kind of moisturizer cream feeling. And as you can see, it's really not that shimmery. It's like a moisturizer and a hydrating product with a little bit of a glow in one. Unlike the Saie Glowy Gel, which is very glowy, very thin, very wet looking, very dewy, this sets down on the skin, and all it is it feels like a moisturizer. It's so cosmetically elegant. It's my favorite primer. If you want a really natural looking highlight, you can wear this as well, but I find that sometimes it can lift my foundation if I'm applying it on top of makeup, so I prefer it as a primer. I just love any product that gives you a soft focus glow without adding a bunch of dewiness to the skin, because I don't like a wet looking skin, but I love a satin finish, and that's exactly what this provides. Speaking of soft focus glow, my favorite highlighter is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in 3. This is a mini size. I wish she made the minis in every shade because it's so nice to have this. I much prefer the applicator of this flexible paddle applicator over the regular flawless filter that comes with like a huge doe foot. I just buy this one and it's so fantastic. I'm wearing it today and it just adds the most beautiful, soft focus, kind of blurring glow to the skin. It's not super shimmery or glittery. I can't imagine myself ever using this as a primer like people tend to do because it, on me, is a highlighter. So I cannot imagine using this all over the face. But as a highlighter, I think it just looks really skin-like. It makes you look like you take really great care of your face. I just think it is truly one of the best products that money can buy. Let's talk about blush. The one that I am most excited to talk about that's at Sephora are the new Kulfi long wearing blushes, and these are incredible. They're the best cream formula I have ever tried when it comes to a blush. They're super, super thick, so the squeezy tube packaging doesn't bother me. With something like the Glossier Cloud Paints, the Gen C Clean Sheen lip and cheek products, those are so liquidy that when you squeeze the packaging, it just like blurts right out, and then all of a sudden you're wasting all this product. Not with these. These are super, super thick creams. So when you squeeze it, just a little bit comes out, and that's perfectly enough for you to dot it all over the face. My favorite is the shade Sandalwood Swirls, which is like a toasted mauve or a cross between a terracotta and a mauve. It is just the perfect blush color. I think would look good on everybody. It goes with everything. You can mix it with any of the other shades. It's just one of the best formulas and best colors that I have ever tried in my entire life. But I also have two other shades that I love. Pinky Promise is this gorgeous, vibrant, warm pink that I know I'm going to be reaching for a lot in the spring and summer months. And then Blessed Berry is a beautiful berry shade. It's not too purple, it's not too dark, it's not too cool toned. It's just, it adds this beautiful brightness to the skin, and I think this one would look good also on everyone. You know, I mean, I think all of them would look good on everyone. They're fantastic. And my favorite way to apply them is with the Sephora Collection number 47 foundation brush. I can't imagine myself using this for foundation because it's pretty small, and I like a bigger foundation brush that just kind of like is a one and done. But for me, for cream blush, this is fantastic. I love that it's a very small brush head, so it really just fits right on my cheek. With so many blush brushes, I feel like they're so big. I end up then applying blush like all the way down my cheek, and that's not what I want. I want to keep it right here. This is super soft. It works with liquids. It works with creams. You can use it for foundation, for concealer, for blush, for highlighter. It's just a great multi-purpose brush, so I had to include it. And if you missed my best brushes and tools video, I will leave that linked on the screen above somewhere, so you can check that out and see a full list of all of my favorite brushes. With one of them being the Saie powder brush. I think it's called the Fluffy brush, and I love this. It's small. It fits in my travel makeup bags. I don't like when brush handles like the Sephora one are super long because I want something more compact that I can bring with me when I travel. So I really like that the handle is a little bit shorter. It's the perfect size and shape to get all around your nose. I don't like to powder my entire face, so this is perfect. And since the Saie foundation is just, it's making me so, it's just like, it looks a little bit too wet looking for my personal preference. I'm gonna go in with my next favorite, which is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Setting Powder. And this is in shade 1 Vanilla. So with this powder, I really like that it comes with a protector so it doesn't get super messy. It has these openings and then you just tap a tiny bit. And what's great about it is that only a little bit of powder comes out when you tap it in. Unlike other powders where you tap a tiny bit and it's like, and it dumps out and then all of a sudden you have powder everywhere. I love that this just provides a little bit of powder so that you don't overdo it. Unfortunately today, it's not gonna really show you how effective it is because this Saie foundation is so wet looking, but it does just beautifully blur the skin. It feels so soft. I'm on my third layer of powder today because of the Saie foundation, and my skin doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel tight or dry. It's just an absolutely beautiful, soft, finely milled powder. And with the Saie brush, chef's kiss. Perfect timing for me to talk about my next blush favorite, which is the Laura Mercier blush in Fresco. I first heard about this through TT Sandra, and I hope you all follow her. You should definitely subscribe to her if you aren't. She's one of my favorite beauty YouTubers. Her content is absolutely fantastic, and she totally sold me on this blush. I'm gonna apply it now because I feel like the powder just took down a little bit of my blush. It's just a beautiful, warm beige with a little bit of silver shimmer that really isn't detectable on the cheeks, unless you're like super close up, but even then, it really doesn't translate as glitter to me. It just provides a beautiful warmth to the skin without being a blush that's orange. It's my perfect, goes with everything, your skin but better blush shade. It's just a great warm color and it kind of doubles as a highlighter as well. Here's what it looks like up close. You can see that there are a bunch of silver shimmers, but honestly, I don't think that that translates to the face at all. It's just a perfect blush color and formula. Let's talk eyeshadow. I'm wearing 3 shadows from Sephora and 2 of them are the Giorgio Armani eye tints. And I started with a layer of Camel, which is this kind of light medium, I don't know, orangey beige. And I blended that all over the lid, up to the crease and on the lower lash line as a one and done shadow. And then to add a little bit of depth, I added the shade 22, which is deep nude. So up close, here are shades 20, which is Camel, and 22, which is deep nude. And the formula is just so thin and the pigment is so even and smooth. It's super easy to apply. And they're probably one of the most beginner-friendly liquid eyeshadow formulas I've ever tried because the pigment is so even. You know, I find a lot of liquid shadows can be very patchy. A lot of them can crease, they can fade really badly, but these have a beautiful kind of sheer but buildable pigment, very hard to mess up, and once they set, they don't budge. And I think the name eye tint is very appropriate. You're not going to get something with a punch of pigment. You're getting something that has a sheer but buildable level of pigment, which makes it, for me, pretty easy to use because it's not patchy. With some liquid eyeshadows that are like really sheer, it can make them patchy, but these just have a beautiful even formula, and I have nothing bad to say about them. I think they're fantastic, and because they're $36 each, I probably would only purchase them during the sale, but I did get these in PR. Let me know if you want a full brand review on Armani. They just sent me a PR package, and if you're interested in a brand review, I could purchase a couple extra items to round it out for a full face. And then the glitter shadow that I have on top is Urban Decay Space Cowboy. I had resisted buying this for a really long time because I had ColourPop Ritz, which is almost the same product. So if you have Ritz, I don't think you need Space Cowboy. It's basically just a super sheer, slightly peachy base, very transparent though, with lots and lots and lots of silver glitter. I prefer this to Ritz. I do feel like it has more shine, and the ColourPop Super Shock shadows do tend to dry out, whereas this is just a powder, so it's already dry. You can use this alone as a one and done shadow, and it just adds the most beautiful wet look shine to your lids, or you can do what I did today and you can layer it on top of other eyeshadows. I love layering it on top of a matte warm eyeshadow. I feel like it just makes everything come alive. It's so beautiful. I don't find that I have really bad fallout with it either. I do kind of just tap it into the lids with my finger. I would not use a brush, and it's as good as everybody says it is. It would not be a Sephora recommendations video without professing my love of the Kaja Beauty Bento eyeshadow trios. These are so good. These are only $26 for 3 eyeshadows, so you get great value, and the formulas are fantastic. So my favorite is Chocolate Dahlia. In the middle, you get this light medium neutral beige. The bottom is a deep neutral brown. And the top shadow is a champagne glitter topper. The swatches just don't do it justice. The glitter topper just isn't anything special when you swatch it, but on your eyes, it totally comes alive and it looks like a beautiful wet look shine scattered effect on the eyes. I always get compliments when I wear Chocolate Dahlia, I think because they're just neutral, very wearable shades that look super elegant on the eyes. It's perfect for kind of just sculpting and defining. I can't live without it. It's so good. My second favorite is Rose Water. On the bottom, you get this beautiful kind of pinky purple deep glitter shade. The middle is a light vibrant metallic pink, and the top shade is almost white, but it's a glitter topper that's like a super light pink. So that's what they look like all together. Again, the swatches of Kaja just don't do them justice. And my last favorite is Spiked Ginger. On the bottom, you get a beautiful warm brown matte. The middle is a rosy copper metallic, and the top is a light warm beige. And here are swatches of those three shades. I'll leave my Kaja eyeshadow trio video linked on the screen above, where you can see me apply a ton of different shades if you're interested in some other ones. And I also do a bunch of swatches and comparisons in that video, so definitely check that out. Okay, I have recently decided that my #1 favorite lip product of all time, can you guess? Can you guess what it is? It's the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss Lipstick Balm in Pillow Talk. This is just my perfect lip product. It used to be the Fit Glow lip serums for me, and these always came as a close second. But recently the Fit Glow lip serums have just been kind of smelling different because they don't add any natural fragrance to the product. So if the climate is doing something different, the product smells different. And right now the Fit Glow lip serums smell a little bit floral, which is not my thing. So I don't really feel comfortable promoting those anymore, which has bumped these up to the #1 spot, baby. They're so good. They are like a lip balm with a lipstick and like a lip vinyl. I'm just gonna apply Pillow Talk because I love it so much. So Pillow Talk is just the perfect muted rose, and it goes with everything. It just looks like the lip color I wish I were born with. And sure, you know, the packaging is a little bit messy. So it is a very melty product. So you do have to keep in mind, if you don't like a product that can get a little bit messy along the sides, it may not be for you. But I just love the way this feels on the lips. And this is by far my favorite Pillow Talk shade out of all of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk products. I feel like this one is a little bit more pinky. All the other Pillow Talk shades have quite a bit of gray. They're a little bit muted, but this one is the perfect shade. It's so much more rosy. It just brightens up the complexion. It has a totally addictive scent, which just smells a little bit like sugar, not in a cheap way, but in a really natural, delicious way. These are thick, they're nourishing, they have a beautiful amount of grip to them, they have a high shine finish. They're so nourishing on the lips. I just cannot stop reaching for this. This is in my purse constantly. This is my second tube, and I don't know if you can see, but I am all the way up to there, and I'm about to open my third tube. And as someone with a very large makeup collection, compared to the average consumer that is, it's hard to go through lip products, but this is just so good that I'm constantly running out of it. It's amazing. I'll also show you the shade Crystal Happy Kiss, which is almost clear. It just has a flush of a warm pink color on the lips, so I'll wear it with no makeup if I just want a little bit of a lip balm. I'm so drawn towards the experience of applying this product that I just wear this as a lip balm during the daytime, at night, whether I'm wearing makeup or not. It's that good. Please, Charlotte Tilbury, please come out with more neutral shades in this line. There's so many bright colors. You know, there are peaches and pinks, but her line is really missing like nude and brown shades. So please, Charlotte Tilbury, give us the nudes that we deserve. Okay, we're getting down to the last few items here. Quickly, I'm gonna talk about the Kulfi eyeliners. I think that they're really good. I'm wearing the shade Cheeky Chiku today, which is just their brown shade. I love using these when I do winged liner because for some reason, I find the skinny retractable pencil really easy for me to do a wing. Like all I have to do is just twist it up and then draw it on my eyes, and boom, I have the perfect shape. I find a lot of times with super creamy eyeliner that's like really glidey, they can almost be too soft that suddenly I won't have the sharp line that I want. Now with a retractable eyeliner, you're not gonna get that super sharp tip. Instead of applying your eyeliner like this, if you twist it to the side, you can get a pretty sharp line. I also love Purpley Pitaka, which is a beautiful plum shade, and Tiger Queen, which is a kind of muted orange. The colors are vibrant without being too vibrant. They're easy to apply. They don't budge. They work on the lid, and if you want to do a wing liner, but they also work on the waterline and they don't transfer. I just think they're a really beautiful product, but just know going into it, this is not the sort of super creamy eyeliner like the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal eyeliners. This is definitely a stiffer one, and I think there are pros and cons to each formula. I'm gonna take this off to talk about the next lip product. Oh my God, the Saie foundation is killing me right now. Oh, so shiny. When I was driving to Ojai for my birthday, we popped into the Sephora in Malibu, and I fell in love with the Hourglass Phantom Volumizing Lip Balms, lip glosses, something like that. these things. The shade in particular, Slip, is one of the best formulas and colors I've ever tried. I'll show you up close. The formula is light as air. It's super, super thin, but I don't find that it's too runny for my personal preferences, even though it is very lightweight and there's not much grip to them. I feel like this color, they have such a beautiful amount of shine. They smooth over the lip lines. This color Slip is perfect. It's just kind of the perfect muted rose, very similar to Pillow Talk, but this is lighter in color. It's just one of those goes with everything colors. I keep this in my handbag with the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss in Pillow Talk at all times. And this does have a slight cooling effect and a little bit of a peppermint scent, but it's very, very subtle. I don't find that it irritates my lips or dries them out, which is great. Normally I don't like anything minty, but this formula is just beautiful. I also have the shade Haze, which I would describe as maybe a burnt terracotta or like a rosy terracotta. And swatched on the back of my hand, we have the shade Slip, which is again that kind of muted rose. And then we have the shade Haze, which is more of like a reddish terracotta or like a terracotta rose. Okay, I have 3 perfumes before I finish it off with more lip products. Surprise, surprise. What has quickly become my signature daytime scent is the Commodity Gold Personal Perfume, and this is in their travel size. This is just $25, and the notes are vanilla, sandalwood, amber, and ISOE Super. It is so delicate, so soft, so natural, so barely there. You just smell really fucking good. Like, I get compliments on this unlike any other fragrance, and it is the most simple that I have. The vanilla is creamy. It's not super sweet or artificial. It just smells like a real vanilla, but it's so light and so creamy. And the sandalwood and the amber are very subtle, but they just round it out and really ground it. So it's not an overly gourmand kind of vanilla. There's a little bit of that warmth, a little bit of that woodiness. It's beautiful. It's skin-like. It's creamy. It's subtle. It's perfect if you're not someone who likes a bold perfume. I feel like I'm gonna run out of this soon, and I've only had it for a few months, which is really saying something since I'm very, very light with the amount of perfume that I wear because I get headaches very easily. So Commodity Gold Personal is bomb. And what's great is all of Commodity's fragrances have 3 different levels. So as you build, each fragrance, either personal, expressive, or bold, has more and more notes. And so for me, I always find that personal is the best because I like a little bit more of a simple fragrance. My second favorite fragrance at Sephora is Ellis Brooklyn Sunfruit. And this is, I love the packaging of this one. Can we just have a little moment of silence for this beauty? It's gorgeous. It's the fruity floral of my dreams without being like a sickeningly sweet fruit, without being overly floral. It's just, it's like a summer fragrance that is year-round appropriate. The top notes are fig, bergamot, plum leaves, and pear. Mid notes are hand-picked jasmine, cyclamen, orris, and orange blossom. Dry notes are amber, vanilla, musk, and coconut. This one is really hard to describe because you get the kind of creaminess, the sweetness, and the skin-like quality of the coconut, the vanilla, and the musk. This travel size is $32, and I would say this fragrance will be good for you if you're not a floral perfume girl, but you want something that's very spring and summer without being like a fruit bomb in your face. And when I first tried this, I was actually really disappointed because I was hoping for it to be something like Dies and Durga Debaser, which is just like a hot fruit, like melting and dripping in the sun. It's like the most beautiful kind of fig peach perfume I've ever tried. This is different. This has the fruit, but it also has florals, and it has that vanilla and that coconut and the musk. So it's very year-round appropriate. It's super soft. My mouth instantly starts watering when I smell it because there's this tartness to it, the tartness of the fig that is just so beautiful, but you get that coconut, the freshness of the bergamot, that kind of comforting jasmine. Oh, it's so good. I could go on and on and on about it, but you get it. It's great. And another warm weather favorite for me is Skylar's Coconut Cove. This is their travel size for $30, and it's a roller ball. The top notes are bergamot, cardamom, hibiscus nectar, and a twist of lemon. Middle notes of coconut, jasmine, petal, gardenia, and lush greens. Base notes of ambrox, coastal woods, heliotrope, and vanilla accord. So kind of a similar thing to Ellis Brooklyn Sunfruit in that you have some floral notes, you have some fruity notes, and you have it grounded by the vanilla, ambrox, coastal woods, and the heliotrope. But this is a coconut forward scent, whereas the coconut in Sunfruit is a lot more subtle. This is like the coconut of my dreams because it's not like a Bath and Body Works kind of coconut. It's complex. It smells super, super fresh. It smells musky. It's just fantastic. It's one of the best coconut perfumes that I've ever smelled. It is the best coconut perfume that I've ever smelled. And if you want to see my perfume collection, I will leave my video linked on the screen above where I talk all about the notes of all my favorite perfumes. It's one of my favorite videos that I've ever filmed. So I hope you enjoy it. And now we have the last lip products. The Saie lip blurs really surprised me because they're not blurring. And so when I first tried them, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is not what the marketing was for this, but I really, really like them. So here are my 3 favorite shades. We have Dada, which is a beautiful kind of reddish burnt terracotta, Modern, which is a muted kind of mauve, and Pop, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous, bright, cool toned berry. These lipsticks are great because they're super, super pigmented and they have a little bit of creaminess to them, so they're easy to apply and the pigment is smooth and even, but they're really long lasting. They have a kind of satin, almost matte finish on the lips, but they're very comfortable. They're not drying at all. They last a really long time. So they're great if you love a bold lip. I also find that the slim bullet means that it's a lot easier to apply for me than a traditional bullet because I do have thinner lips, so I can get a sharp line if I want, or I can blur it out. I think the shades are also really sophisticated. They're nuanced, they're modern. It's just a really great shade range for a lipstick launch, and I really hope they come out with more because it's a beautiful formula. And lastly, we have the Merit Signature Lipsticks. Here are swatches of my 3 favorite shades. We have Millennial, which is a light or maybe slightly warm muted pink, Fashion, which is a bright berry, and Lavenue, which is a berry brown. These have a sheer formula, which is really nice because you can totally swipe them on without a mirror, especially the lighter shades like Millennial. With the deeper shades, they can be a little bit patchy because of that transparency to the formula, so I recommend using them with a lip liner or just kind of dabbing them on. But I like them because they have a kind of like stiff gel formula, which is a very different texture from any lipstick I've ever tried. It's kind of a love it or hate it formula, and at first I hated it, but now I love it. Because these do get a little bit melty as you kind of work them into the lips, they can kind of press against the side of the lipstick container, and over time you can get an indent in the lipstick and it can kind of start to tilt, and then it gets really messy when you twist it down. So just be careful not to press too hard as you're applying them, otherwise the lipsticks start to break. But other than that, I think they're a really beautiful formula and I really like the packaging. It feels like this kind of heavy acrylic that's really satisfying, and I'm so hoping they bring back their limited edition shade Aperitif, which was this beautiful, beautiful, like bright cherry red. Oh, it's just a great formula and I hope they continue to launch more shades. I totally forgot about hair products. Real quick, the Moroccan Oil Dry Shampoo is my favorite. I really like the scent. It's hard for me to find a dry shampoo that isn't overly fragrant, so the Moroccan Oil is my favorite. I think the formula for the light tones and the dark tones is the same thing because I own both and they look exactly the same on my hair. It never feels too heavy or too gritty. It does a great job of cleaning my hair, not weighing it down, and I don't find that it leaves a white cast on me. It's probably the most transparent aerosol dry shampoo that I've tried, so it's definitely my favorite, and I love that it comes in a full size and a travel size. And then lastly, the Oribe Dry Texturizing Spray. I absolutely love that. It's my favorite texture spray. It is so effective. I only need a few sprays around my head to get what I need, versus a lot of other texturizing sprays. I have to spray so much more product in order to get the texture and the grit that I want in my hair. It's so expensive though that I only ever buy it during the VIB sale. I tend to stock up during this time. And what's great is it also comes in a mini size as well. After filming this, I realized I completely forgot about a few products because they were in a different room. So I'm gonna get to those now. Totally forgot to talk about the Innbeauty Keep It Clean cleanser because I finished it up and it was in the trash and I was waiting for my new Sephora order to arrive that had 2 of these. It's a great multitasker. It's a first and a second cleanse, so you can cut down on the amount of products that you have to buy. My boyfriend and I have very, very sensitive skin and sensitive eyes, and we don't find that this irritates us or irritates our eyes. It's the only cleanser my boyfriend will use, which really is saying something. And I love that it has a very subtle kind of cucumbery scent. A foundation I tried after filming this video was the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I know that people have raved about this for years, and I had tried it a while ago, but I don't know why I didn't buy it. I have the shade 4.75, and I love that it's so thin and blendable, but it doesn't sit in any of my pores. It doesn't emphasize texture like a lot of other very very thin liquidy foundations can do. And it sets down to a beautiful, natural, leaning, slightly glowy finish, but it works really beautifully with powder. And so if I don't want it to be on the more luminous side, I can totally take it down. It's just a wonderful product. I'm just holding out to see if it irritates my skin because I did smell that there seems to be fragrance in here, and luckily I haven't had any irritation yet. I'll keep you posted, but formula wise, beautiful. Some people are gonna hate me for this one. I hate myself for this one. The Simi Haze Velvet Blur Lip Balms. I started with one and now I own 4 because I love them. Their website does have quite a few shades for this mini size, but I think this mini size is $22 and it's kind of like insultingly small. The packaging's bulky. I hate it. It doesn't fit in my purse very well, but the formula for me is like mind-blowingly good. These are ultra pigmented. One swipe covers your entire lips, and they're kind of the opposite of the Merit signature lipsticks. You know how the Merit lipsticks really are like gel-like and show your lip underneath? These are incredibly opaque and they look quite heavy, like they look like you're wearing makeup. But when it comes to a bold lip, that's what I want, because with a bold lip color, I don't want you to see my lip freckles underneath. I want it to be opaque. And over time, I realized that the more you kind of build this up, the more it does have quite a blurring finish, and it's very comfortable and creamy on the lips despite being matte. So even though I hate the bulky packaging, I hate how overpriced these are for the size, I can't help but really, really, really love the formula and frankly reach for it all the time. And the last product I have tried since filming this video that I wanted to add is the Innbeauty Bright and Tight Eye Cream, which for me came with this cool little like applicator that feels like ice on the eyes. It's so nice. But let's talk about the product. I'm not an eye cream girl, so I wasn't really excited to test this out, but think of it like thin gel serum cream hybrid that just like melts onto the skin. It really just feels like more of an eye serum mixed with an eye cream to me, and I think that's why I really like it. It also has light reflecting particles like their face glaze, and it has a little bit of a sheer tint. And so on no makeup days or on days when you are wearing makeup, it just kind of perfects your under eyes a little bit and really beautifully preps for makeup. I do have tips for this though. Don't apply too much and don't try to layer it. Like if you add a layer of eye cream and then it kind of dries and you add another, then it can pill. So just go in with like half a pump, do all over your eye area, and you're good to go. That's it. Those are all of my favorite products at Sephora. If you want to see more in-depth reviews of these or just in-depth product reviews in general, I will leave all of my annual favorites videos linked in the description box below. I have videos for lips, eyes, base products, skincare, and general favorites like perfume and hair and body. So definitely check those out in the description box. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. It would mean a lot if you can click the like button and subscribe to help my channel grow. And wherever you are, I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next one.